Yes. So good evening, everyone. Welcome back, scholars, to your own channel. So as today is Wednesday, we'll be having a class for standard 12, right? And as the thumbnail says, today is going to be a very interesting session because we have been waiting for this for a really long time now, right? So it's sample paper discussion, the papers which have been released by the board very recently, right? So we'll be discussing that in very much detail. So that will basically give you insights as to how the paper is going to be, like the what marks are allotted for each question and all that stuff, right? So we'll be discussing. So welcome back, everyone. Okay, a couple of y'all are already here. Good evening, Sheba. Hi, Sreshta. I hope all of y'all are doing good. Yes. Anyways, so giving you all a heads up before in hand, this is going to be a very interactive session. So I need your active participation in the chat box because it's mostly like an MCQ quiz, right? But not on the Mentimeter platform, but we'll be doing it straight away on the YouTube chat box itself, right? So whatever option you think is right, just put the option in the chat box. So that's how today's session is going to be, right? Yeah, so we'll have quick introductions in the meanwhile, hoping other people will join as well. Yeah, so my name is Nikitha, as most of you all know, and I'm the history educator here at Unacademy Scholars channel, and I'll be taking classes for standard 11th and 12th, right? So it's Wednesday today, and therefore the 12th class will be having a session. A little bit about my educational qualifications. I have very recently graduated from Ashoka University with a bachelor's degree in history and a minor in political science, right? Yeah. Uh, if y'all haven't joined the Scholars channel on Telegram, which is basically going to give you information about or information slash updates about what is happening on the Scholars YouTube channel, right? Which teacher is taking which subject class at what time and all that stuff. If y'all haven't already joined it, the link is in the description below of this video. You can quickly go and join the channel, right? And we'll quickly go through some of the Unacademy Plus and Iconic benefits slash subscription ranges, right? So as you can see on the screen, there are n number of benefits for Unacademy Plus. Out of them, some of the most remarkable features are you can actually sit at your own houses and listen to some of the top educators live classes, and you can have unlimited access to a range of courses. Apart from that, you can also take part in regular doubt solving sessions, answer writing sessions. Along with that, you can also take part in practice tests and live test series. And one thing here is that all the Unacademy Plus educators, they make sure that they are covering the syllabus in a very exhaustive manner, like according to the syllabus mentioned by the board. And that basically means you don't have to worry about missing out on a particular topic, right? So that way y'all are sorted. And there's also mentorship given to you, there's guidance given to you, along with access to study materials in the form of PDF. There are a range of subscriptions, right? Initially we only had 5, but now the 6-month subscription is taken off, and in place of that we have 2 new subscriptions, which is a 3-month and a 9-month subscription, and the remaining 4 are the same, which is 12, 15, 18 and 24, right? The prices are clearly listed here, and you can have a quick look at them and subscribe to whichever one you want. But the basic hack here is the longer period of time you actually take a subscription for, right? So that's going to be more beneficial to you in terms of financial liability, right? And jumping from Plus to Iconic, here the features are even better and greater, as in there's personal mentorship provided to you along with live doubt solving sessions. There's also weekly reports and parent connect along with the study planners. The pricing for Iconic is as follows. As you can see on the screen, the durations are the same for Plus and Iconic. It's 3 months, 9 months, 12, 15, 18 and 24, right? So whichever one you want, again, you can subscribe to that. It's going to be beneficial for you guys. Yeah, so that was a quick pitch. I am hoping everybody who has to join has already joined. Good evening, Rajit. Good evening. Yeah, so I think we can quickly move on, right? Yes, so guys, today is a sample paper discussion, as I was telling you a couple of minutes earlier. So the thing I want from you for today's class is active participation, right? This is not some sort of Menti quiz for you all to log on to a different website, but the questions are right here on the screen, and I expect you all to type down the answers, or like no need to type down the answer itself, but just put down whether option A, B, C or D is the correct choice, right? So that will kind of save us our time. Yeah, so should we start? Just give me a thumbs up in the chat box if y'all are ready for this. Should we start or wait for a couple of other minutes for other people to join? Just let me know, guys, in the chat box. I'm waiting. Quickly give me a thumbs up, guys. Okay, so I'm taking that as a yes, and I'm hoping I can move forward, right? Yeah, so we have a long list of questions, almost 60 questions, right? So if you're not able to cover all of them in today's class, we'll have the continuation of this discussion in the next session on Friday. But let's just try to finish it in today's session itself, right? Okay, Sheba says I have nothing to do with the sample papers. That's okay, Sheba. I know why you're attending classes for, but again, to test your knowledge, like where do you stand, right? You can just casually take part in it if that is not a problem, right? Just treat it as some kind of Menti quiz, okay? Yes, cool. So we'll quickly start. So the first question, yeah. Who among the following was the author of the book, The Story of Indian Archaeology? Quick responses to it, please put them down in the chat box. I'll wait for a couple of seconds, and if nobody of y'all knows the answer, I will reveal it myself, right? Yeah, who among the following was the author of the book, The Story of Indian Archaeology? Is it R.E.M. Wheeler? Is it John Marshall? Is it S.N. Roy? Or Rakal Das Banerjee? Yes, Sheba, you're absolutely right. The answer is S.N. Roy, right? So his full name was Saurendranath Roy, and he almost wrote a book covering from 1784 till 1947. Like whatever archaeological excavations happened during that period, he made an account of all these excavations in his book called The Story of Indian Archaeology, right? So the option here is C. Yeah. So the next question, who among the following was the Director General of the Archaeological Survey of India? Okay, so Sangeeta has a question in regards to class 11. Okay, Sangeeta, I'm not quite sure as to what kind of presentation you're referring to, but one of the topics I can think of at the top of my head is the relation between writing and the emergence of city life, right? Basically, the essence of chapter 2 in your textbook. That is a really good topic. Like, there's a lot of multi-level analysis within it. So I think you can choose that, Sangeeta. Yeah, anyways, we look at the answers for question number 2. Yes, most of you are correct. It is Alexander Cunningham. Again, guys, you don't have to type down the spelling, right? Just give the options as A, B, C, or D. That is totally fine. Yes, Asmita, you're right. Shrestha, you're right again. Yes. So we'll move on. But before actually dealing with these all questions, I'll quickly go back and tell you what the format of the question paper will be like, right? So essentially, this paper is going to have 4 sections, section A, B, C, and D, right? And there is internal choice within it. The instructions are pretty much clearly visible in your sample papers. So it says section A will have 24 questions, out of which there you can answer any 20. So you have a choice for 4 questions, right? And section B has 22 questions, out of which you have to answer any 18. Section C has 2 case-based studies. Like these are mostly from the source boxes as I have seen. So there's like a particular set of information given, out of which there are 6 questions asked, right? So there are 2 case-based questions, and 2 into 6 is 12 questions, right? So out of which you need to answer 10. And the last section is section D, which has only 2 questions in it based on map pointing, right? This is just to give you a rough idea as to what the format of the question paper is, right? Because the board exams are approaching and it's necessary that you all are aware of the format of the question paper. Okay, Sangeeta, point noted. I got your point. I will do that in tomorrow's class. Yeah, so Asmita, your question, right? Tina has almost answered your question. Thank you, Tina, for doing that. Yeah. Yes, yes. Hi, Chanda. Cool. So we'll move forward because we don't have much time, guys. Yeah. So the third question, which one among the following religious practices was seen to be unfamiliar or unusual with the Harappan culture? Quickly put down your answers in the chat box. Is it Mother Goddess? Is it Priest King? Or Yogic Poster Seal? Or Sanskritic Yagnas? Yes, Asmata, you're right. The answer is Sanskritic Yagnas, right? Nowhere in the first chapter we came across the term called Sanskritic Yagnas, right? But there was a Mother Goddess, there was a Priest King, and there was a Yogic Poster Seal. So this is not known to the Harappan people. Right. Tanu, Tina, Chanda, all of you are right. Good job, guys. Yeah, so next question. Which of the following is the oldest stupa in India and was commissioned by the Mauryan king Ashoka? Which stupa was it, guys? Is it Shanti stupa? Is it Amaravati stupa, Sanchi stupa, or Nagarjuna Konda? Which of these was one of the oldest and commissioned by the Mauryan king Ashoka? Yes, quickly put down your answers. Yes, Chanda, you're right again. It's sorry guys. Okay, I'm really sorry. Tina, Chanda, you all are wrong because the answer is Sanchi Stupa, guys. Sanchi Stupa was commissioned by the Mauryan king Ashoka. I get it that Amravati was the oldest, but Ashokan king did not sponsor it. Mauryan king Ashoka did not commission it. So the answer here is Sanchi Stupa. Yeah, just please make a note of that, guys. Yeah, that's okay, Chanda. It's good that you're learning something new today, right? Yeah, so the next question. Which one of the following aspects describe the meaning of Tirthankaras in Jainism? Who are the Tirthankaras, right? Were they supreme beings who is the incarnation of God? Those who guide men and women across the river of existence? Those who follow the path of Vedanta asceticism? Or those who know the ultimate truth and dharma? What is the answer for question number 5? Okay, so most of y'all have given the answer as B, which is absolutely right, right? So these are the people who used to guide men and women regarding the existence of life, right? Like what does life entail? Why are we even born? And after life, is there a rebirth or something like that? So all these philosophical questions were addressed by Tirthankaras. So option number B is the right answer, guys. Yeah, so we look at question number 6. Which of the following empire issued gold coins for the very first time in 1st century CE? Is it clear now, Chanda? Guys, can all of you all see the questions very clearly, or is there a problem? Okay, so just interrupt me anywhere if you all think that the question paper is not visible. Okay? Okay, so Saumi says it's clear. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Yes, so as far as the answer is concerned for the 6th question, it is Kushana Empire. Right, so Kushanas were the first who issued gold coins for the first time in the Indian subcontinent, right? So just like a side note to it, Indo-Greeks were the first people who actually issued coins having images and the names of the kings, right? So as I'm going through the questions, I'll also be giving you a little bit of side notes. So this will also act as some kind of revision for you all, right? Yeah. So for question number 6, C is the right answer, which is Kushana Empire. Yeah. The next one, which of the following city of the Harappan civilization was exclusively devoted to craft production of shell objects? Basically, they're saying which site was famous for shell making. Is it Kodiji? Is it Kalibangan? Is it Manda or Chanhodaro? Which one of these? Okay. Yes, all of you are right. It is Chanhodaro, guys. There are other places also which are famous for shell making, like Lothal, Nageshwar, and Balakot. But since they are not in the options, we chose Chanhodaro, right? Chanhodaro is one of the important centers for shell making. Yeah. So, next question. Who among the following was the composer of Prayag Prashasti? Prayag Prashasti was an inscription in Allahabad. Who composed it? Yes, again, all of you are correct. It is option C, Harishena, right? He's also spelled as Harishena, right? Whatever the spelling is, Harishena is the right answer. And he was the court poet of Samudragupta, right? One of the famous Gupta rulers. Yeah. So the next question, in the domestic architecture of Harappa, there were no windows in the walls along the ground level. We have studied this. Identify the possible cause mentioned by the archaeologists from the following options. Why is it that they did not have windows? Is it because it's a custom, or to maintain privacy, or no concern of ventilation, or was it a part of unplanned process? Quick answers. Yes, option B is the right answer. Most of y'all are right. Yes. So it's because of privacy, right? Like privacy was considered one of the most important things during the Harappan civilization, and that is why they did not have windows. Yeah. Question number 10. The composition of the Mahabharata has been traditionally attributed to a particular rishi. Rishi is nothing but a sage or a saint. Identify his name from the following options. So which of these rishis were mentioned, were known for the composition of Mahabharata, right? Was it Rishi Kannada, Rishi Kapila, Rishi Agastya, or Rishi Vyasa? Who was it? Right. Saumi, Tina, Tanu, Asmita, all of y'all are correct. It's option D, which is Rishi Vyasa. Yes. Again, this is the question we did not do in the class, but because we haven't reached till chapter 7. But if any of y'all have completed the chapter 7 syllabus, y'all can answer this, right? Who among the following traveled in Vijayanagara Empire in the 15th century and was greatly impressed by the fortification of the empire? Which of these travelers was impressed because of the fortification of the Vijayanagara Empire? Right? The options are right there. Is it Duarte Barbosa, Abdur Razak, Colin Mackenzie, or Domingo Pace? Who was it? Yes, so Chanda and Tina, you are right. It is Abdur Razak, right? So Abdur Razak was basically this ambassador slash traveler. He was sent by the king of Persia, right? Like Persia is the present day Iran. So the king of Persia sent him to the modern day Kozhikode, which is called as Calicut in those times, right? So yeah, so he visited India and was greatly impressed by the Vijayanagara fortifications. It's Abdur Razak. Yeah. Question number 12. Who among the following was the first woman to be ordained as a bhikkhuni? Is it Mahapajapati Gotami, Yashodhara, Mahamaya, or Dhammananda? Who among these women was ordained as the first bhikkhuni? Right, it's option A, which is Mahapajapati Gotami. Who was she? She was the foster mother of the Buddha, right? So foster mother is not the actual biological mother, but she was responsible for bringing up Buddha, right? So her name was Mahapajapati Gotami. Right. Next question. Which of the following statement is correct regarding Mahavami Dibba? So which of the following statements is correct? Was it a part of the king's palace complex, part of sacred center, was a counseling hall, or a discussion hall? Yes, you are right. It is a part of the King's Palace complex, right? We haven't done that part, but we will do it in the next couple of days, right? Okay, so Tina has an interesting analogy with regards to the last question. Tina, I wouldn't say she's a Masi or something, But yeah, that's okay for like fun and facts. Y'all can say she's a Masi or whatever. But like the actual reason being, she's a foster mother, right? Foster mother doesn't have to do anything with like biological expressions. She's just responsible for bringing him up, right? Yeah, I hope that is clear, Tina. Yeah. Good evening, Kumari. You joined a couple of minutes late, but that's okay. Just start answering from the next question, right? Yeah. Question number 14. The famous king Krishnadeva Raya, he belonged to which of the following dynasties? Was he a Sangama ruler? Was he a Tuluva ruler? Was he a Aravidu ruler or Suluva ruler? Which dynasty did he belong to? Yes, most of you are right. The answer is B. He belonged to the Tuluva dynasty, right? So he was one of the famous kings who ruled over the Vijayanagara Empire, and he was in fact the third king of the Tuluva. So Tuluva dynasty had 5 kings in particular, and out of those 5, he was the third Tuluva king. Right. Next question. The mid-first millennium BCE is often regarded as the turning point in world history. Which of the following is a significant aspect related to the statement? Why is it called the turning point in world history? Answers, quick answers, guys. Because thinkers were trying to understand the mysteries of existence, or the usage of coins, or was it because of the emergence of Mahajanapadas, or Ganas and Sanghas were assisted by standing armies? Which is the correct option? Yeah, so the answer is A. I am okay, so whoever put it as C, it is not the right answer, guys. I mean, I get it. Mahajanapadas emerged during the mid first millennium BCE. Yes, that is a factual information, but that is not the reason why that millennium is called the turning point in world history. It is because of the fact that thinkers were trying to understand so many philosophy subjects, right? Philosophical issues like the mysteries of existence. That is the reason why it is called as the turning point in world history. Yeah, exactly. Kanan has a point here. It is asked in the world context, world history. Thank you, Kanan, for pointing out that. See, again, it is really important for us to read the whole question in totality, right? Otherwise, we might end up ticking the wrong option. Yeah. Thank you, Kanan, for that. Yes, Tina, you're right. Mahajanapadas was very centered around the Indian history, right? So the question is regarding world history, and that is why we need to look at a broader global level, right? So we've talked about this. Even in China, Confucianism, right? So that philosophy was coming up. In India, we had Mahavira and Buddha. In some other places, we had somebody else. Like for example, in Greece, we had all these Socrates, Plato, Aristotle, and all these people. So many ideas were being developed. Right. The next question, who among the following gurus of Sikhs, so which of the following Sikh gurus compiled Shri Guru Adi Granth Sahib? Who combined this Adi Granth? Was it Guru Tej Bahadur, Guru Arjan Dev, Guru Nanak Dev, or Guru Gobind Singh? Who was it who compiled? Yes, Tina, Saumi, you are right. It is Guru Arjan Dev. So it's option number B, right? So there are like a certain number of gurus according to the Sikh religion, and Guru Arjun was basically the fifth preceptor. Preceptor is nothing but a guru, right? So he wrote all these, he compiled this particular Guru Adi Granth Sahib in the form of hymns, right? And these were written in several languages also, not just their own Sikh Punjabi language, but in several other languages. Yeah. Yeah, so the next question, why is the Harappan script called enigmatic? And choose the correct reason from the following options. Why is it called enigmatic? Was it because it resembles the hieroglyphic script of Egypt, or it had too many symbols between 600 and 1000, it was written from left to right, or its script remains undeciphered till date? Yes, Tina, Sami, Kanan, you're right. It is because of the fact that it is still undeciphered till date. Undeciphered as in the historians or the scholars do not know what is written. Like the language hasn't been recognized yet, right? And also like whatever information is written above in the first 3 points, it's in fact wrong. It was never written from left to right. It was always written from right to left. And when it comes to the number of symbols, it had somewhere between 375 to 400, but not 600 and 1000, right? Yeah. So enigmatic is nothing but mysterious, guys. So the answer is in the question itself. Why is it mysterious? Because it hasn't been deciphered, right? So sometimes if you read the question alone, that will give you the answer. Okay, next question. Who among the following was the best known ruler of the Shatavahana dynasty? Was it Yagnashri Shatakarni, Simukha Satakarni, Gotami Putra Siri Satakarni, or Vashishta Putra Shatakarni? Who among these was the best known? Quick answers. Yes, Tina, Shweta, Saumi, you are correct. It is option C, which is Gotami Putra Siri Shatakarni, right? Out of the 30 rulers who ruled over Shatavahana dynasty for almost 2 centuries, Gotami Putra Siri Satakarni was the most famous of them all. Yeah, so this is supposed to be a very easy answer, guys. I'm hoping everybody will get it right. The compilation of the Vinaya Pitaka, Sutta Pitaka and Abhidhamma Pitaka are called as dash. What are they called? What are these Pitakas called? Yes, you're right again. It is called as Tipitakas, right? So basically Tipitakas is a very local term, like from a Pali language or something like that. But when it is translated to Sanskrit, it is called as Tripitakas, like Tripitaka. So we all know Tripitakas is nothing but like 3 Pitakas, right? So those 3 Pitakas are called as Vinaya, Sutta and Abhidhamma. Yeah. The next question, which one of the following temples was used only by Vijayanagara rulers and their families? It was very exclusive. No commoner was allowed to enter the temple. Which temple was it? Vithala, Virupaksha, Hazara Rama and Raghunatha temple. Quick answers. Yes, you are right. It is Hazara Rama temple. It's option number C. And as far as the Hazara Rama temple is concerned, at some point of time in history, the statues in the central shrine were destroyed, but the sculptures on the outer walls are very much present till date. Like even if you visit the Hazara Rama temple right now, you will find all those sculptures on the outer walls, and these sculptures are nothing but scenes from Ramayana. So it's a Rama temple, right? Yeah. Next question, who among the following was the author of the book Arthashastra? Again, very easy. Who wrote the book Arthashastra? Is it Bimbisara? Is it Ajatashatru? Is it Chanakya or Bindusara? Yes. Yes, all of you are right. It's option C. It is Chanakya. Again, guys, Chanakya has so many names to him. So it's good that you remember all the names because you don't really know which name will be a part of the options, right? So just to give you a side information, Chanakya is also called as Kautilya / Vishnugupta, and he's also referred to as the Indian Machiavelli, right? So these are all the names attributed to Chanakya. I highly recommend you remember all of these, right? Yeah. The next question, which of the following languages were spoken by Rayas and Nayakas in the Vijayanagara Empire? Okay, so Tina, just to answer your question, it's Chanakya, Kautilya, Vishnugupta or Indian Machiavelli? I hope that's clear, Tina. Yeah, so next question. Which of the languages was spoken? Is it Malayalam and Telugu, Kannada and Telugu, Tamil and Telugu or Sanskrit and Telugu? Yes, the answer is B. It's Kannada and Telugu. Most of you all are right. It's very important to remember, guys, because Vijayanagara, as the geographical area it consisted of, it was initially leaning towards the present day Telangana and Andhra Pradesh, but again, as it expanded, it also spread to the modern day Karnataka, which basically means Telugu and Kannada was spoken, right? Guys, it's not Sanskrit and Telugu, it is Kannada and Telugu. Please make a note of it. Sanskrit was never a part of the Vijayanagara Empire. Yeah. So, question number 23. Which one of the following battles weakened Vijayanagara kingdom? Is it Battle of Tallikota? Is it Battle of Panipat? Battle of Mysore? Or Battle of Travancore? Which of these weakened Vijayanagara kingdom? Yes, Kanan, Shweta, you are right. It is option A, Battle of Tallikota, right? So this Battle of Tallikota happened in the year 1565. 1565, Kanan. Yeah, 1565, and it was basically a battle between the Vijayanagara king. At that point of time, Vijayanagara king was Sadashiva Raya, right? Sadashiva Raya also belonged to the Tuluva dynasty, and he fought against the alliances of the Deccan Sultanates. Like there were 4 Muslim dynasties involved on the other side, who were the sultans of Bijapur, Bidar, Ahmednagar and Golconda. So all these 4 kingdoms formed an alliance and they waged a war against the Vijayanagara ruler Sadashiva Raya, right? It happened in the year 1565. Yeah. Right. So the last question for section A. Who among the following Begums provided money for the preservation of the Sanchi Stupa? We've read this not too long ago, but like a couple of classes back we've seen. Yeah, it is option A, Shah Jahan Begum, right? She visited the Sanchi Stupa and she was mesmerized because of the Eastern Gateway and the sculptures on it, and then she decided to preserve the Sanchi Stupa, and this was happening in the 19th century, guys. Yeah, so she was basically the Nawab of Bhopal, right? Yeah. So without any further ado, we will quickly jump into section B. Yeah. Which of the following options given in the Sangam text, which are Tamil texts, accurately describes Vellalar and Adimai as two categories of peasants in South Indian villages? The question is basically asking you, what does the term Vellalar and Adimai mean? The options are right there. Is Vellalar a plowman or a landowner or a peasant, or like other different options? Or is Adimai a landowner, peasant, or a slave? Quick answers. Yes, it's option D. Vellalar was basically a landowner and Adimai is a slave. So when we were talking about the three kinds of peasants present in the Sangam period, we've talked about this, right? There was Vellalar, who was a landowner, and then there was a middle peasant like who had just bare minimum of land with him, and he used to have this like subsistence kind of agriculture, right? And then the third category was Adimai, who never had a land of his own. Instead, he was a slave on the other people's fields, right? Yeah. Question number 26. Read the following information and identify the practitioners of a subdiscipline of archaeology. Very technical. Please get this right. So the description is as follows. They are the specialists in ancient animal remains. They tried to study and understand the Harappan subsistence strategies through animal bones found at Harappan sites, and indicated that Harappans domesticated few animals. Who are they? What is the job description, right? Were they archaeobotanists, archaeogeologists, geoarchaeologists, or anthropologists? Who were they? Yes, y'all are right. It's option B. It's archaeogeologists, right? Yeah. Question 27. Which of the following pairs associated with Buddha's symbolic representation is incorrect? We were dealing about this in chapter 4, right? An empty seat, or empty seat sculpture, does it represent meditation of Buddha? Wheel is used as sermon of Buddha. Bodhi tree was referred to as the birth of Buddha, and the stupa is referred to as the Mahaparinibbana. Which of these is wrongly placed? Yes, for 27, the answer is option C, right? A Bodhi tree basically meant that he was being enlightened, like that process or the moment where he was enlightened, that was represented by a Bodhi tree, but not the birth of Buddha, right? Reena, this is not a Menti quiz. This is just something doing on the online YouTube chat box itself. So like I won't really know who is the quickest, because some might type slowly, some might type fast. So I don't think it's fair enough to tell who was the fastest. But when we will be doing the Menti quizzes, I will say that, right? Yes, birth of Buddha, Lumbini, absolutely right, Kanan. Yeah. Sauni, I just have a point to correct here. Bodhi tree meant that he was enlightened. Bodhi tree was not for meditation. An empty seat represented a meditation. as you can see in the first option. Okay, guys, don't get confused. The process of meditation, the point where he was enlightened, and the point where he achieved nirvana, these are three different things. Never get confused, guys. Right? Meditation is different, enlightenment is different, nirvana is different. For meditation, it's an empty seat. For enlightenment, it is a bodhi tree. And for nirvana, it's a stupa. Right? Saumi, I hope that point is clear. Please don't get confused. Yeah. So, question number 28. Identify the character of Mahabharata with the help of the following information. He was basically a guru or a mentor of Kauravas and Pandavas, and he did not accept Ekalavya as his disciple. Who was this guru? Was it Guru Vasishta, Guru Vyasa, Guru Sandeepni, or Guru Dronacharya? Who was this? Yes, it's option D, which is Guru Dronacharya, right? So we've seen this whole source box where Ekalavya, who was a forest dweller, comes to Dronacharya to accept him as his disciple because he wanted to learn archery, but because he's a forest dweller, because of caste differences, Guru Dronacharya rejects his proposal, right? So that is where we've studied about Guru Dronacharya. Yeah. So question 29. Which of the following statements about Mahajanapadas are correct? First one, Mahajanapadas were Magadha, Koshala, Gandhara and Avanti only. The word only is important. Option 2, most Mahajanapadas were ruled by kings. Option 3, some known as Ghanas or Sanghas were oligarchies ruled under Rajas. Option 4, each Mahajanapada had a capital city which was often fortified. You have the options below. Tell me which of the options is correct, right? Right, so options are already here. It's option number B which is correct, which basically means that second, third and fourth statements are correct. But when it comes to the first statement, Mahajanapadas basically mean they are 16 in number. But they only have mentioned 4 here and they were telling these are the only 4 Janapadas, which is, it's a wrong statement, right? Yeah. Okay, so this is interesting. Question number 30, assertioning and reasoning. I'll read out this assertion statement first, right? From 500 BCE, norms were compiled in Sanskrit texts known as Dharma Shastras and Dharma Sutras. And the reason statement is Brahmanas laid the codes of social behavior for the society in general. Again, you all know what the options are. Is it both assertion and reasoning are true and R is the correct explanation of A, or assertioning and reasoning are true but R is not the correct explanation of A, or A is true but R is false, and the last option is A is false but R is true. A is nothing but assertion and R is nothing but reason, right? So what is the correct option for this, guys? For question number 30. Yes, Saumi, Shweta, you are right. It's option A. Assertion is true, and also the reason for it is true, along with reason being the correct explanation, right? It's because of the fact that Brahmins had to lay down certain social codes or norms. That is why they wrote it down on whatever manuscripts, right? For the people to follow, to spread the message. Yeah. Question 31. Which of the following options is the most probable explanation for the incorporation of the Shailabanjika motif in the Sanchi Stupa? We've seen this and talked about this in chapter 4. What is the significance of Shailabanjika, right? Was it to explain that it explains Mahaparinibbana, or it's a symbol for strength and wisdom, or it's an auspicious symbol, or a religious idol, right? Yes, the answer for 31 is C, right? So it was an auspicious symbol, and if you want like further explanation, it's like a huge paragraph, I think in page 101 of your textbook, 101. Go read it up, guys. It's really important. Yeah. 32nd question. Consider the following statements, and after that tell me which of these are correct, right? The first one is the Harappan civilization was the development of urban centers. The second is the most distinctive feature of Harappan cities were the carefully planned drainage system. The third statement, Harappan roads and streets were laid out along an approximate grid pattern. Which of the statements are correct about Harappan civilization? Quickly put down your answers, guys. Yes. Sami, Kanan, Shweta. No, sorry, Shweta, you're wrong. It's not C, but the answer is D, because all the statements are correct, right? 1, 2, and 3 all are correct about the Harappan civilization. They did follow a grid pattern, they had a planned drainage system, and Harappan civilization basically meant that urban centers were coming up. So all three are correct. Yeah. Question 33. Identify the character of Mahabharata with the help of the following information. This character belonged to a Rakshasa clan. She married Bhima, who was the second brother of Pandavas, and she was also a mother of Gatotkacha. Who was she? Was she Hidimba, Subhadra, Draupadi, or Gandhari? Right? Which of these is correct? Yes, whoever answered it as option A, that is the right answer. It's Hidimba, right? So we have this whole source box revolving around how Hidimba was so desperate to marry Bhima, even though Bhima rejects initially, but somehow Yudhishthira convinced Bhima to marry Hidimba, right? That is why I kept stressing on the fact that please look at the source boxes and read them carefully, because there are so many questions from the source boxes itself, right? Yeah, question 34. He was called as Devanampiya and Piyadasi. He ruled the Indian subcontinent from 268 to 232. He propagated Dhamma. Who was he? Which ruler? Ashoka, Chandragupta Maurya, Samudragupta, or Ajatashatru? Yes, a very simple answer again. No explanation needed. It's option A. It's Ashoka, right? Yeah. This is a little tricky question. Go through the question properly, guys. So you have to basically match what is the role or the contribution of the archaeologist, right? So, yeah. Just look at the archaeologist names and the role or the contribution on the right side and match those. So just tell me if A, B, C or D is the right answer. Cunningham, Sahni, Marshall, Wheeler. Just match them properly, guys. Yes, whoever answered it as A, that is absolutely right. So we look at one by one, right? So under A, it says that Alexander Cunningham was the first Director General of ASI, which is true, absolutely true. The second, they say, the option A says that Dayaram Sahni discovered seals at Harappa, right? Absolutely right. And John Marshall announced the discovery of a new civilization, right? Again, it's correct. And the last one is R.E.M. Wheeler. Because of the fact that he was a military man back in Scotland, he brought that military precision in archaeology. again, which is the right statement. So option A is the right matching. Yeah. Next question, which of the following information is or are correct about the Vijayanagara Empire? First statement, its first dynasty was the Sangama dynasty. Tuluvas were replaced by the Aravidu. Krishnadevaraya belonged to the Suluva dynasty, and Harihara and Bukka were from Aravidu dynasty. Which of the options are correct? Yes, for question 36, it's option D. Only the first and second statements are correct, guys. Again, I'll give you explanations as to why the third and fourth are wrong, right? Krishnadevaraya, as we've discussed earlier, he did not belong to Suluva dynasty. In fact, he belonged to Tuluva dynasty, right? And as far as the fourth statement is concerned, Harihara and Bukka were from Sangama dynasty but not from Aravidu, right? So again, just to give you a little bit of side information, the kingdom of Vijayanagara or the empire of Vijayanagara was ruled by four important dynasties, right? The first one was Sangama, the second is Saluva, the third is Tuluva, and the last one is Aravidu, right? So these four dynasties were very popular who ruled over Vijayanagara empire. Yeah. Question 37. The 12th century witnessed the emergence of a new movement as Veera Shaiva tradition. This continues to be an important community in the region to date. Our understanding of this tradition is derived from vachanas composed by men and women who joined the movement. So, which of the following statement is correct about the Veera Shaiva tradition? That is the question. Did it emerge in Kerala? Was it led by Basavanna? Were their followers known as Nayanars, or their philosophical idea was to support caste and theory of rebirth? Which of these is correct? Yes, you are right. It's option B. This tradition was founded and led by Basavanna. And as far as the region is concerned, it emerged in Karnataka, present day Karnataka, and not in Kerala. And their followers are known as Lingayats and not Nayanars, right? Yeah. Question 38. Which one of the following is a correct pair? Like which dynasties or which rulers ruled over which regions? There's only one correct pair here. Tell me which is the correct pair, right? Cholas Tamil Nadu, Hoysalas Orissa, Sultans Karnataka, Gajapatis Deccan, right? (38) question. Yes, you are right. The option is A. It's Cholas who ruled over Tamil Nadu. Hoysalas did not rule in Orissa, but Hoysalas ruled in Karnataka. And as far as sultans are concerned, all these Deccan sultanates like Bijor, Bidapur, Golconda, Ahmednagar, they ruled over like Maharashtra, Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka. So you just can't point it out at Karnataka, right? And as far as Gajapatis are concerned, they ruled in Orissa, right? Yeah. Question 39. Read the given information and select which character is that, right? She was a Rajput princess from Merta in Marwar, and she considered Lord Krishna as her lover. Again, it's supposed to be very easy, guys. Who was this devotee of Saguna Bhakti? Andal, Gargi, Mirabai, or Maitreyi? Yes, it's a very easy choice. It's Mirabai. We have been listening to this literally from our childhood, right? As soon as you listen to come across the word Lord Krishna, the major devotee or like the very dearest devotee of Lord Krishna was Mirabai, right? Yeah. Question 40. Krishnadevaraya's rule was characterized by expansion and consolidation. There was peace and prosperity in his empire. He was credited with building some fine temples, and he was defeated in the battle of Rakshitangadi. Which of the above statements are related to Krishnadevaraya? Right? Which of these are correct? Which of these are correct? Okay, yes, Kanan, you're right. It's option B, right? Which means the first three statements are correct. But as far as the fourth statement is concerned, he never took part in the battle of Rakshitangadi. Again, Rakshitangadi is nothing but the battle of Tallikota, right? This is another name. In the battle of Tallikota, his successor Sadashivaraya took part, but by the time Krishnadevaraya died. So he did not take part in Rakshitangadi. Yeah. Question 41. Strategy used by Harappans for procuring raw materials may have been to send expeditions to areas such as Dash region of Rajasthan for copper and South India for gold. Where did Harappans basically acquire copper from Rajasthan? Which area in particular? Is it K3, is it Alwar, is it Wagad or Marwar? Yes, 41. Kanan, Shweta, you are right. It is K3, right? K3 region in Rajasthan was very, very famous for copper mines back then, and in fact even now. Yeah, we'll quickly glance because we're running out of time, guys. Yeah. So which one of the following teaching is not associated with the teachings of Mahavira or Jaina philosophy? Which of these is not a part of Jainism, right? Option A, the entire world is animated, ahimsa or non-violence, the cycle of birth and rebirth is not related to karma, monastic existence is a necessary condition of salvation. Which of these is not associated? Yes, whoever is answering it to be option C, you all are right. Because Jainism never talked about the cycle of birth or rebirth, and like even if it did, it never related it to the concept of karma, right? So that is a wrong association to Jainism. 43rd question, which one of the following statements related to Buddhism is not correct? Again, statements are as follows. Pilgrims such as Fahian and Zhuangzang traveled from China to India for knowledge. Bodhisattvas were perceived as deeply compassionate beings. Bodhisattvas accumulated merit through their efforts and used it to attain nirvana or nibbana. And Mahayana literally means the great vehicle. Out of these four, three statements are correct and one is wrong. Which one is wrong? You'll have to identify that. Yes. For question number 43, option C is the right answer because once they accumulated merit through their efforts, they did not use it to attain Nibbana. So that's like the total opposite of what they did, right? So that's like a wrong statement. Yeah. Question 44. Read the following statements regarding Sufism in India. So Sufism turned to asceticism and mysticism in protest against the growing materialism, or they sought an interpretation of Quran on the basis of their experience, or Amir Khusro was the disciple of Sheikh Nizamuddin Aulia, or Sheikh Moinuddin Chishti was from Delhi. And which of the following statements are correct? That is basically the question here. Which of the following statements are correct? Quick answers. Question 44, guys. Yes, Kanan, you're right. The only option A is correct, which basically means that the first, second, and third statements are correct. But why the fourth statement is wrong, right? Sheikh Moinuddin Chisti, he was a Sufi saint. His origins was not from Delhi. Like, he was never from Delhi. In fact, he was not even born in India. He was born in Herat, Herat, which is a place in present day Afghanistan. And as far as his death is concerned, he was buried in Ajmer. So in no way he has any relation with Delhi, right? Yeah. Question 45. So this is again an assertion reasoning question. If you look at the assertion statement, it says Krishnadeva Raya's rule was characterized by expansion and consolidation. And the reason for it is Vijayanagara kingdom acquired land between Tungabhadra and Krishna river due to its military preparedness, because of its military might. So which of the statements are correct, right? Like, what is the correct option? Yes, whoever's answering it as A, it's absolutely right. Both the assertion and reasoning are true, and also R is the correct explanation of assertion. Cool. So last question for section B. If you look at this particular figure, which school of art is evident on the image of Bodhisattva? There are different schools of art, right? Gandhara, Mathura, Greco-Roman and Amravati. Which particular school of art is this figure representing? And the question, the answer to question number 46 is Gandhara school of art, right? Yeah. And also there's a supplementary question for visually impaired candidates. Nonetheless, we'll do that as well, right? So Buddha founded Dash, an organization for monks. Buddha founded a Sangha, Buddha founded a temple, or a Khanaka, or a church. What did Buddha found? Very simple again. Yes, it's A, guys. Buddha founded a Sangha for as an organization for monks, right? Yeah, so we'll quickly jump into section C. So these are case-based questions. So I will read out the case study. Again, guys, but just before doing it, since it's already 7:08, just type in the chat box if you all want to do the remaining set of the questions today, or you all want me to stop here and continue it in Friday's class. Whichever is feasible to you, we'll do that. You all want to continue or Friday's class? No, just give me an answer with continue or Friday, so that I'll know if you all want to do. Okay, can I get 2 more responses? Okay. Okay, so majority of y'all are voting for continue now. And there are only like 12 questions in total, so I think I will continue here. Okay, mixed responses. Neha and Kavya, if y'all could bear with me for a little while, I'll wrap it up very quickly, because once we are done with this, we can start a new chapter on Friday, right? So that is why even I don't want to take it till Friday. Yeah, we'll just quickly do it here, okay? Yeah. So here there's a passage from your textbook itself, and there are 6 questions following that passage, right? So I'll look at the first, I'll read out the first passage. Draupadi is supposed to have asked Yudhishthira whether he had lost himself before taking her. True contrary opinions were expressed in response to this question. 1. that even if Yudhishthira had lost himself earlier, like they're basically referring to the game played between Kauravas and Pandavas, right? So he lost there. His wife remained under his control, so he could stake her. That is one opinion. The second one is that an unfree man, as Yudhishthira was when he had lost himself, could not stake another person because he himself was not free. The matter remained unresolved. Ultimately, Dhritarashtra restored to the Pandavas and Draupadi their personal freedom. So there are 6 questions following this. The first one is, to whom did Draupadi ask these questions after losing in the dice game? Whom was Draupadi questioning? Yes. So the answer for 47th question is option A, as most of y'all have given the right answer. It's Yudhishthira, right? Her husband, her first husband. The next question, why is Draupadi raising these questions? She wanted to know her position as a wife. She wanted to challenge the Kauravas. She wanted to instigate the Pandavas for the war. She wanted to humiliate the Pandavas. What was she trying to do by raising these questions? Yes, again, your options are right. It's option A. What was she trying to do was basically she was trying to know her position as a wife. Was she dependent on another man, or does she have her individual identity? She was trying to assess that, right? Question 49. How did Draupadi react to her humiliating treatment? Did she raise the legal issues of property and ownership? She challenged context of patriarchal marriage. She symbolized the figure of the ultimate lord, master and owner. She cried in shock and dismay at the treatment that she faced as a wife. What did she do? How did she react to the humiliating treatment? Yes, your answers are right, guys. It's option D. She just cried and was shocked at the dismay. Yeah, and 50th question. How did Dhritarashtra react at the end? What did Dhritarashtra do? Again, a direct inferring from the passage, right? If you read the passage properly, the answer is right there. Dhritarashtra restored personal freedom to the Pandavas and Draupadi. He compelled Pandavas to stay with Kauravas. He ordered Duryodhana to apologize, or he called Yudhishthira to restore their power. What did he do? Yes, the answer is option A. He restored personal freedom to Pandavas and Draupadi. Yeah, question 51. How do you evaluate the position of Draupadi as a wife on the basis of this particular case? What is the position of Draupadi as a wife? Did she object the behavior of her husbands? She had the property rights like her husbands. The family had complete rights over her, or she was having hatred feeling for her husband. Which of these is correct? Yeah, so 51st question, she objected over the behavior of her husbands, right? So it's option A. The last one, how was Draupadi's question related to the womanhood? What does it signify about womanhood? Did she raise the question on the status of women? She took stand for patriarchal norms. She raised all passive nature questions. She quietly accepted her plight. What did she do? Question number 52, as most of you are telling, it's option A, right? She just raised the question on the status of the women, right? So before moving on, a couple of y'all have questions, right? So Kagendra asks, when will you take the Menti quiz? If you're referring to the Menti quiz for chapter 4 for standard 12, it's going to be on Sunday at 11 a.m. guys. right? So Sunday 11 a.m. is Menti quiz for chapter 4, and Ramakant has another question. 11th standard Menti quiz. It's going to be on Saturday, Ramakant, on chapter 2, writing and city life. We're going to have the Menti quiz on chapter 2 for 11th standard on Saturday and for 12th standard on Sunday, right? Okay, so you're Aditya. Cool, I'll remember. Yeah. So we'll quickly move on to the second case study. This is a poem by Kabir, right? He says, "Tell me, brother, how can there be no one Lord of the world but two? Who led you so astray? God is called by many names, names like Allah, Ram, Kareem, Keshav, Hari, and Hazrat. Gold may be shaped into rings and bangles. Isn't it all gold at the same time? Distinctions are only words we invent. Kabir says they are both mistaken. Neither can find the only Ram. One kills the goat, the other cows. They waste their lives in disputation." This is basically a poem attributed to Kabir, and there's 6 questions following them. Yeah, identify the connotation of Kabir from the following options. What is he trying to tell us? Is it monotheistic aspect, polytheistic aspect, atheistic aspect, or theocratic aspect? What is he trying to identify or like associate the God with, right? Yes, you all are right. For question number 53, the answer is A, monotheistic aspect, right? So basically what he's trying to tell us is there are no several gods, but there's only single God. Like mono means one, right? So single God. Next one, Kabir used different names for God or the supreme power. What can one infer from this? Is he trying to convey the concept of ultimate reality or faith in Saguna Bhakti, rituals as a way to gain insight, and reality is in worshipping idols? What is he trying to tell us? Yes, Kanan, Saumi, Neha, you're right. It's for 54th question, it's option A, concept of ultimate reality, right? Like for him, ultimate reality is that there exists a single God and he is formless. Yeah. How has Kabir's compositions promote communal harmony at large? What was his contribution and how did it promote communal harmony at large? Kabir mentions about one God in all. He questioned religious practices. He was a Hindu by birth or he was a Muslim by birth, like he followed Islam. Which of these is correct? Yes, Kabir mentions about one God in all. So A is the right answer, guys. Question 56. Which of the following is the part of Kabir's philosophy? He gave emphasis on traditions and rituals. He used connotations as Shabda or Shunya. He gave emphasis on yagnas and sacrifices. He was a fundamentalist in his approach. What was his philosophy? Question 56. Yes, it's option B, guys. He used connotations as Shabda and Shunya, and he basically followed these connotations from the yogic traditions, right? Question 57. Kabir's poetry has a literary as well as a philosophical significance. Select the most appropriate option from the following that describes this particular essence. God is one who just has different names. God is vested in all Saguna forms. God is a philosophy in isolation from rituals. God is based on reincarnation. What is his philosophical significance? Okay, yes, Neha, Kanan, Saumi, you are right. The option is A. God is one who just has different names. The last question. Read the following statements regarding Kabir and select the appropriate option. The first statement is Kabir was a Nirguna saint. The second is he believed in formless supreme God. The third, he wanted to remove the differences between based on caste and religion. The fourth, he condemned the superstitious cults and ritualism. What did he do? Select the appropriate answer, guys. Which of these are correct? Yes. So all the statements mentioned there are correct, which means option C is the right answer. Good job, everyone. All of you are correct. Yes, the last two questions we have, which are map based questions, right? So clearly look at this place, right? This position named as A and place named as B. We have questions related to these two A and B, right? So the first question is, on the political map of India, as you can see above, A is marked as major Ashokan inscription, where you can find all these rock edicts, right? So identify which place is that. Is it Girnar? Is it Sopara? Is it Sannati or Shishupalgarh? Where is it? Yes, you are right. It is Girnar, because all the, see, whatever, where the A mark is placed, it's in present day Gujarat, right? So only Girnar is in Gujarat. All the other three are in different parts of the Indian subcontinent, but not in Gujarat, right? So Girnar is the right answer. And lastly, on the same map B, like here is B, right? On the same map B, it's marked as an important town of 2nd century. And which region was it? Was it Mathura? Was it Bargokhacha or Shravasti or Puhar? Yes, again most of you are correct, which is option D, Puhar. Puhar is a town in modern day Tamil Nadu, right? It was one of the important towns of 2nd century BCE. So for visually impaired candidates, again we have a different set of two questions because they cannot do map pointing, right? So the question here is, which of the following was the capital of Magadha? Very easy. We have discussed this a lot of times, guys. Which of the following was the capital of Magadha? Yeah, you're right. It's Rajgir, Saumi. Again, if there's an option called Pataliputra, right, then you might have confusion as to whether it's the old capital or the new capital. But Pataliputra is not a part of the options, right? So Rajgir is the answer. And the last question, which one among the following had the pillar inscription? Is it Topra? Is it Mathura? Is it Kanauj or Puhar? Which of the following regions had an Ashoka pillar inscription in that region, right? Which region was it, guys? Okay, I'm afraid that Saumya's answer is wrong. It's not Mathura, Saumi, sorry. It's not Mathura, guys. It's Topra. So Mathura, even though it had several other inscriptions of Ashoka, probably there were rock edicts and all, but there was no pillar inscription. Pillar inscription was in the place called Topra. So option A is the right answer, guys. Yeah. So that brings us to the end of the discussion of the sample papers. Again, this might be easy for some of you, this might not be easy for some of you, but whatever it is, this is the standard in which your board term 1 question papers are going to be. So be prepared for the standard, and as moving forward, we will be doing a lot of quizzes and stuff. So that should make your job easier, right? Yeah. Yes, we'll quickly wind up. Okay, thank you so much guys for tuning in for today's class. I know we've exceeded time by almost 25 minutes, but yeah, I'm happy that you all stayed back. And about the subscription, about the pitch made initially, if any of y'all want to subscribe to Unacademy Plus or Iconic, y'all can use my code TUM10 and get a 10% off straight away on the subscriptions. And if y'all like the content of this videos, please do like it, share it as much as possible, and subscribe to our channel Unacademy. Thank you so much for tuning in again. I hope everybody has a good evening, and yes, I'll see you guys again on Friday, where we'll be starting a new chapter 6, regarding Sufi and Bhakti traditions, right? Yeah, I'll see you guys on Friday. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll just stay back for a couple of seconds. If any of y'all have any questions, y'all can put them down in the chat box. But if that's not the case, y'all can leave. Yeah. Bye Shweta. Bye Sami. Yep. So I take it nobody has questions. Yeah, so that's the end. Thank you so much guys for tuning in once again, and I hope to see you all again on Friday. Till then, have a good evening and also a good day tomorrow.